Okay, in this last part we have some radical equations, so some equations with radicals in them, and in number 11 we have the square root of some expression, and so if we want to eliminate a square root from our equation, we can do the inverse of that, which is squaring. But of course we have to do that to both sides, and so when we do that and square both sides, the radical is going to be eliminated from the left side. But on the right side, we will have a new polynomial, x plus 2 squared, which the biggest mistake, I see this all the time, is people take that and they just go, oh, that's x squared plus 4. But that is not the case at all. That is absolutely incorrect. And so if you were to write that out and you would actually FOIL it all out, you would know that there is a middle term here of 4x. So if you go ahead and multiply that all out, you're going to get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Okay, so that is a very, very common mistake. Here we have a quadratic, so we're going to set it equal to 0. And I want to get everything on the right side in this case because I already have a positive leading coefficient. So I'm going to combine that negative x with the 4x there and that 18 with that 4 there. And I'll clean this up. So I have x squared plus 5x is, or minus 14 is equal to 0. And I can solve that by factoring. This is x plus 7, x minus 2. And my two solutions then, or potential two solutions, are negative 7 or 2. And now we just have to double check and make sure that they are not extraneous solutions. And so I can see that if I put this negative 7 up in here, it's going to equal a negative 7. And I'm going to just omit all of the negative roots into my answer. So this would be square root of 25 equals negative 5. And that, that is true. We had to have two roots, but oftentimes we are only concerned with the positive root. So we are not going to count the square root of 25 equaling negative 5 as part of our solution. So we are going to discredit this as extraneous, and our solution then would be x equal to 2. Because oftentimes when we're solving word problems, and we saw one on the previous video, is that we're not talking about a negative speed, so we are just going to omit those. Number 12, I have a cubic root. So if I am taking the cubic root of something and I want to get rid of that, I'm going to cube it. So I'm going to go ahead and cube both sides here, and that's going to get rid of the cube root. So I will have 5x plus 2 equal to 3 cubed is 27. And this just becomes a linear equation to solve. 5x equals 25 when x is 5. Make sure that doesn't make anything negative. There's no restrictions, so that would be our solution there for number 12. Number 13. Here we have a fractional exponent, and so I want to isolate that variable right away. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and divide both sides by 4. I want to get rid of that 4. So to do that, I'm going to be left with x to the 2/3 power is equal to 64 divided by 4, which is going to be 14. Or what am I talking about? 16. Hello. Okay, so now how do I get rid of to the 2/3 power, or what's the inverse of to the 2/3 power? And so if I take both sides to the reciprocal of that power, I'm going to essentially make this x to the first power because a number times its reciprocal is 1. So by doing that, I'm taking this both sides to the 3/2 power, and I'm essentially getting x by itself, and that's equal to 16 to the 3/2. Okay, well, to the 3/2 power is the same as the square root of 16 cubed, which is 4 cubed, and 4 cubed is equivalent to 64. The last one, number 14, is very similar to what we just did. What do you need to do if you want to do the inverse up to the half power? Well, that's the same as square root, really, which means you square both sides. And after I square both sides, I'm left with negative 4x minus 3 equal to x squared. And so here's a quadratic. I'm going to set this equal to 0 with a positive leading coefficient. So I essentially move the negative 4x and negative 3 to the right. I factor this, and this factor is x plus 3, x plus 1 equal to 0. So my possible solutions are negative 3 or negative 1. And I go ahead and take a look at that, and I check these for any extraneous solutions, and lo and behold, they're both going to be extraneous. So really, this has no solutions to it. So they are both extraneous, so I'm going to say this is no solutions, both extraneous. So that wraps up the whole quiz key. Hopefully this helps you guys learn from your mistakes and study a bit for our upcoming test. So thanks for watching.